What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 2, Cheating Heart. So we get into the episode. We see Candy meeting up with Cynthia, or I should say Cynthia meeting up with Candy. They about to have Portia come through, and they wanted to talk about everything that they were supposed to talk about with the Sincerely girl, the cheating and all that stuff with Dennis and seeing how Portia is. Mind you, they wanted to talk about this prior to, well, when they was ready to. This is where they wanted to put all that information out there that they got about Sincerely or whatever. But, of course, Kenya had opened up the floodgates and said it at her party, and Candy feels some type of way about that. I mean, truth be told, I would feel some type of way too because, listen, yes, I told you what it was, but at the end of the day, I said that we are going to, truth be told, she should just shut the fuck up. Kenya, y'all shouldn't have told Kenya, because y'all know Kenya likes some meth, but I get where Kenya was coming from, and I get where Candy is coming from. I can tell my girlfriends what's going on, but at the end of the day, if I said that I am going to tell this person something, that means I want to tell them that. Not to you to take it upon yourself to spill the bean, okay? That's not what we're supposed to do. But, Portia show up and they was just trying to see what was going on with her, and you can just tell Portia going through some stuff still. She's supposed to be getting ready to go back to Dish Nation. You got Eva filling in for, she's saying that, mind you, her maternity leave has been an extended stay, and she's just feeling all out of place still. She talking about breastfeeding, and she was only able to breastfeed for 3 weeks, and her nipple placement, and how one here, one there, might be getting that redone. And I was like, let me tell you something. I feel for you ladies that have to go through that, because some of these babies be trying to pull y'all nipples off. Okay, I was looking at some documentary, whatever, especially when my mom was pregnant with my little sister, and yeah, that shit ain't fun. Okay, it ain't as fun as you would think it would be. No, cause babies, bitch, they ain't got no teeth, but goddamn, they will pull your shit off. All the gums on themselves and your nipples sensitive and shit as it is. Goddamn, I'm sitting here like, whoo. But anyway, doing all of that, and they get into the whole thing like Portia, she's still not feeling like she's ready to get back in the game, go back to work. She said she was still crying last night, and I really want Portia to go talk to somebody, okay, go to some counseling, because yes, you dealing with that mess about, your boyfriend / baby daddy out here cheating on you. Then you probably got postpartum on top of that. Then you probably got the stress of other stuff on top of that. It's a lot, okay? This is what happened, ladies. This is what happened. I ain't gonna just say ladies, but this is what happened sometimes when you get into a relationship too fast, and you don't know the person, and you get comfortable way too quick. Sometimes it's better to give that relationship time to flourish before y'all take these big step, okay? Get yourself time to know each other, whatever, before you go to the next big step, all right? Sometimes that works for people, but not all the time, okay? And we seeing that maybe Portia and Dennis should have cooked a little bit before they had a baby. Maybe they should have cooked a little bit before they wanted to become engaged and stuff like that. Get them times to go through this stuff. Well, it's a good thing, I will say, that they're going through it now before they got married. I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to put it past the fact that they probably go through some shit when they get married. But at the end of the day, she still have to communicate. Candy, and then they asking, how does that work? He got the baby and y'all got a baby. How you think it work? Y'all single parents, whatever. Y'all know how that work. You still have to, regardless of what's going on, you still have to communicate with the baby daddy, the baby father, because, he is going to be part of that child's life. And that's what Portia said. I'm not trying to take my child away from her father. So, therefore, we do have to communicate. Sometimes we're talking about the kids. Sometimes that leads into how I feel about stuff that's been going on. Sometimes it leads into argument. But we have to get to a point where it's just about the child at this point. Okay? And a lot of people can relate to that. And that's unfortunate, but a lot of people can't relate to it. You know, Candy, she want to know the tea. Okay, they want to know. They fishing for the tea. Like, what happened? How this happened? Is this true? You know, Candy said she was out of town when the blog hit or whatever about the news, so she didn't know. And when Sincerely popped up, she truly didn't know what was going on. I said, girl, okay, if that's what you want us to believe, you know. So they dealing with that, and at the end of the day, Portia and her dude, they back together, you know. Really what they wanted to know was that bestiality shit and drug shit claim. Was that real or whatever? Like, she gonna sit here and tell you, yeah, I saw him fuck a dog before. I saw him sniff them lines and everything. I was like, I don't want to do that, but if that's what you want to do, boo, you can go ahead and do that. It ain't my stilo, but she ain't finna sit there and tell you no shit like that, girl. But anyway, moving on from that, you got Eva. She's getting ready for her gig at Destination. You know, getting her makeup on with Brad or whatever. Cynthia calls her, let her know what's going on, and then Cynthia, why you, girl, Cynthia, you being a little mess, okay? She had to put it out there that, girl, you was a hot topic and everything when we was out and all this stuff, okay? So of course, Eva don't even know exactly what the hot topic is, you know, but of course she automatically gets in her feelings. It's like, okay, listen, if I gotta read a bitch, if I gotta reattach some damn wigs and stuff like that, like I did with Marlo or whatever, you know, we can go there, okay? Because none of these nappy-headed bitches, you know, I felt some type of way when she said nappy-headed bitches, but, you know, we're not gonna do that. But I did feel I said, that's what the only thing that you can come up with. You know, people use nappy head as a derogatory towards black women, but you know, anyway, you know, she just felt some type of way, like, you know, y'all need to just really get over, okay? I went through a lot of bullshit with y'all last year. We're not about to start this off on the good front, on the bad front right about now. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I do feel like, you know, they did kind of take what she said and kind of blow it up and made it much, much more bigger than what it really is, okay? I understood where Eva was coming from about not bringing the kids, but I also understood and was on the side of Portia and them when they said, ain't shit finna pop off because we got our kids. We know how to act when our kids are in presence, you know? But that's her opinion, okay? You can't really fault her for that. But she ready to take her ass home. She ready for Portia to bring her ass on, okay? And then, you know, when Cynthia on the phone, they supposed to be going to New York City Pride, and so they want to go shopping together and get their dresses and stuff like that. So cool. And you know what got me? Go back to the Portia situation. She said that Dennis talking about wanting to take the ring back. How y'all feel about that? If you get married or engaged or whatever and it don't work out, do you feel like it's right for you to keep the ring as the one who it was given to, or do you, and especially when you're not the one that's calling it off and you didn't do anything, you know, or you probably did call it off, but you didn't do anything to break up the relationship? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you should give the ring back or you shouldn't? I said, nigga, you should just let her keep it out of all the shit that you didn't put her through. Keep it as a push gift or something like that. Cause I feel some type of way. You want the ring back? Kenya is at home with little Brooklyn with her little cute self and you know, playing around with her, and she's about to get on the phone FaceTime Mark. I was like, oh please, you know, the whole time while they was waiting for that FaceTime to come through, I was sitting here like, please let this man answer this phone, because in the whole first episode, that kind of set the tone of what we gonna be seeing in this episode, this season with Kenya and Mark, and the fact that they're already on the outs or whatever. Like, this man don't want to answer the phone, don't want to do this, you know, he busy, and it's like he's not at the house, and, you know, that's what they trying to set it up to make it look like this man just really don't give a shit, okay? But then the FaceTime comes through, and I was like, whoo, okay, cool, you know, at least he answered this time. And, you know, he talking about the baby and the baby hair. I was like, how the baby look like a little boy? Girl, boy, that baby don't look like no little boy. That baby look like a cute little girl coming into her own, okay? She's still cooking, all right? She's still cooking with her cute self, because the way her hair was, whatever. Did you put gel up in her? She didn't put brown gel. She didn't put the clear gel. She didn't put none of that stuff in the hair, okay? Let me tell you something. I hate when I see parents putting a lot of processed and chemical based stuff in little kids' hairs, especially like the little babies and the little toddlers or whatever. Y'all fucking up the baby curl pattern, y'all fucking up the baby wavelength, y'all fucking up the texture of the hair already. Okay, stop that shit. Put some little water on it, you know, because I know some of them can't. But, you know, put a little bit of water, put a little bit of hair grease, and that's about it. Okay, that's what it is. You want to know the type of grease? We used to, out here in Chicago, it's this grease called Live, L-I-V. Okay, that's where we used to live. I lived by that. I used to live, when I ain't had my locks, that shit used to slick my edges down so good because these edges used to fuck me up. Okay, I got some, I'm blessed with some bomb edges. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they still wouldn't cooperate the way that I wanted them to. You know, but, you know, that's what I'm seeing. And you ain't got to go all out and put all that crap up in their hair. But moving on from that, they on the phone or whatever, and they talking, and it just seems like, you know, Kenya's trying to ask more questions about whether or not he's coming over. When are you coming back in town? He literally said, I'll let you know. Okay, and that was like one of the only times that I felt like he really was addressing Kenya. Okay, he was more so about the little baby. I mean, which is okay, but be concerned about your wife as well, you know. And she did put it out there that Mark has 2 other children, you know, and I know that that was one of the big rumors that was going around. That was part of the reason, rumored to be part of the reason why she was filing or trying to get divorced. They was breaking up because she didn't know about the kids that he had, but obviously she did, you know, because that's what she just put out there, because she said she was shocked at the fact that he really didn't know too much about, you know, dealing with a baby or whatever, but you got 2 other kids, you know. So he was also concerned about playing around with little baby Brooklyn, then talking to Kenya, and it just felt like a disconnect. It's like you could visibly see that there's a disconnect between them two, okay? And then having a distance between them, that don't help it at all. It really don't. So we're gonna see how this play out between Kenya and Mark. Cute baby, cute family though, I will say that. Moving on from that, Cynthia has Noelle in the car. She's back from her first, I don't know if it's the first semester or first year in high school, college or whatever. And, you know, she was just talking about how she just had anxieties, a lot of anxiety when she was at college. But then once she got in the car, she saw her mom, she gets back to Atlanta, she was like, all of that goes away. It's expected, okay? That's I would say that's somewhat normal. You know, you've been sheltered all your life, and now you gotta go be pushed out into the world to be free and to be an adult. Okay, take care of yourself. It's different, so you know you're probably gonna be a little anxious or whatever. You know, gotta go through this, gotta go through that. It's life, okay? And so you know she's back home in her comfort zone, so therefore that anxiety lifts. And you know she was talking about the relationship. You know, how she never really saw what it was like with her father and Cynthia, that love or whatever, you know, and seeing her mom, she said she only saw it between her and Peter. And now Cynthia talking about the way that she feels about Mark, and, or I should say Mike, and is his name Mike, okay? And how she never thought that she would be able to feel this way again, be so in love and want to marry somebody and all this stuff, and woo, woo, woo. You know, Noelle was talking about how at one point she do remember when she basically said that Cynthia had low self-esteem, and they played the clip, and I was like, yeah, you know, but she is cool with the fact that her mom is coming into her own too, you know, so they both on the learning curve right about now doing learning, you know. And we find out that Miss Noelle is fluid in her sexuality, okay? So basically she part of the fam, you know, and it is what it is, and I don't feel no way about it. I'm actually okay with this conversation that happened in the way that it happened, because it's a lot of people that do not get this opportunity to talk to their parents and get the type of response that Noelle got. And I understand that they're on camera or whatever, but I genuinely feel, because Cynthia, if given a chance, Cynthia will fuck the shit out of, let Candy fuck the shit out of her. Okay, at least once. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know, she was like, I saw it with some cute guys or whatever, so you hooked up with anybody, you had some little things. She was like, I mean, there was a lot of cute girls that I saw, you know, on the romantic tip. I said, ooh, okay, you know, and then Cynthia put it out there that she fluid or whatever. She was like, get some cute guys and some cute girls, and, you know, whatever goes, whatever goes. And she said, whatever rocks your boat, rocks your boat. And I do, like I said, like the fact that they're open enough, and she felt good enough and safe enough to tell her mom that without fear of judgment or whatever. And then, Cynthia's saying that she's going to go down there to World Pride Day in New York. So they're just going to have a good time. That was good because, like I said, we don't see that a lot. Everybody don't have that same experience. We got Candy at this little place. What the fuck is the place called? Because I keep on, every time I see it, and we got a place out here, I want to call it the Discovery Zone for some reason, but that's not what it is. You know where they do the little trampolines and stuff like that, and the kids have fun. And she there with Ace, and she was meeting up with, waiting for Marlo to show up. Marlo showed up with her 3 nephews, William, Monty, well, no, that's what they call her, William, Michael, and Azariah, and basically she said that those are hers for right now. She took me in for the moment, and hopefully, I guess they put her on here like this to see a different side of Marlo, trying to finally show that she's not as messy as we always see her as, because that's what I was getting. Like, Candy was trying to vouch for her and say she's really a sweet person. She's really a good person. She has a good heart. And, she had to take in her nephews, and she said she'd been having them for the past 5 months, and the youngest one, she only has him from 8 to 2 p.m., while I guess the mother or something is in school or something like that. That's what she said, or I probably got that information misconstrued, but y'all saw it. But at the same time, she sat down and the kids went off to go play, whatever, and they was talking about how they call her Monty, which is mommy and aunt together. And, the way that she came about having the kids with her is one day her nephew called her and was like, can you come pick us up, auntie? Because the people trying to take my mama away. And it was like, who trying to take her away? The police? And she was like, no, the mental ward. And come to find out, her sister, which is her older sister, she suffers from bipolar schizophrenia. Okay. And so, she was there for I will say this. It is a good thing that she was there and willing to open up her home to her family, to these kids, and not have these kids go off to be a ward of the state or go to a foster care system and get split up or whatever. And she stepped in, because that's exactly what happened with my cousins. When we was younger, that's how they came to live with my grandparents, because the police and all that stuff came in, and there was some stuff going on, and so that they wouldn't be separated, my grandmother took all of them in, and raised them, because mom wasn't fit. May she rest in peace. But it is what it is. So that was a good look, I will say. And Candy was just basically saying how that's tougher than probably having your own kid, bringing in somebody else's kid, and it's gonna settle in. It's gonna take some time to get used to the new circumstances that you're in or whatever. And they was talking about that. Then she was like, how everybody doing? How's the group going? She was like, Candy said, I seen everybody, everybody's okay. Everybody's cool. I haven't seen Nene, but she did send me a text on my birthday, because, they was going through their issues. And, after the reunion last season, she was like, the relationship was kind of tense, and, so she didn't know where they were standing. And then for her to send a text, and I guess that was like an icebreaker, whatever. And, she was like, Marlo was saying she's probably in a better place now, a different space, because, Greg is cancer free, and, all this stuff. And it was like, the girls need to get to know you, and not just get to know you as somebody that follows behind Nene and kiss Nene ass and all this stuff. And Marlo said, listen, hold up. I do get Nene ass together. I just don't get y'all together get her together in front of everybody else. That's what it is. And then, to be quite honest, she was like, well, you didn't have my back with this closet situation. She was like, see, this is what you need to learn. You need to learn not to be listening to them folks, okay? And Annie was like, what folks? She was like, me, first of all, because, bitch, I'm the one that told you to go in the closet. So, that was a cute little funny moment of whatever that they had. So far, the episode and these last couple of episodes, well, this episode, last week episode, lighthearted. We don't get into the drama, so I'm not really expecting any drama. It's not boring to me. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a introduction, okay? We still getting there, and feeling things out. But before I go on, let me just put this out here. My Married to Medicine people, there is no new episode tonight, because it's directly after this go off, the People Choice Awards come on. Girl, nobody give a care about that shit, okay? I was ready to cuss Jackie ass out. I really was, for making that comment. Girl, anyway, moving on from that. Shamia comes over there to Portia house, and they're with their kids, and little PJ ain't feeling that well. She goes to sleep, and I'm just looking at the babies like, Jesus. Shamia's baby got Shamia's whole face, and then PJ got Dennis' whole face. And so they was just talking about how their life basically has done a complete 180. Back in the day, we were talking about wigs and what we finna go, girl, who we finna see and all that stuff, and go get turned, go, get litty up in here. But now we talking about poops, bottles, and bibs and stuff like that, And then Portia put it out there like, girl, Dennis stayed over last night. I said, see? So basically, what winds up happening is, Lil PJ had a doctor's appointment. Dennis came around for the doctor's appointment. He stayed at the house. They wind up going to the liquor store, whatever, and then wind up watching Netflix and chilling. That's what they was doing. And she woke up with the nigga in her bed. And Shamia was like, "Are you sure you're not pregnant?" She was like, "Bitch, I don't know." I said, "You know what, Portia? I want to be mad at you, but some of y'all be doing this with y'all exes and y'all baby daddies too. Y'all can't stand that motherfucker, but as soon as y'all get around and that motherfucker call, I hate him, and you saying you hate him while you riding his dick. I'm just saying. Shit happens. Her 6 weeks was up, and she was like, bitch, I ain't gonna be out here like that. So that complicates the situation, though. So it's like, he kissing you and all this stuff or whatever, trying to see if calling you baby and all this stuff, and y'all ain't even together. And of course, Shamia was like, y'all need to take y'all asses to counseling. Or no, he said that he wanted to take them to counseling or whatever. And Shamia was saying that she pro counsel and everything. So they're gonna see how that works. Then you got Cynthia and Kenya. Girl, Kenya got a new Tesla, and baby, let me tell you something. I was inside a Tesla before. That motherfucker was driving by itself and everything. I was like, sir, I understand that this is new and this is the technology, but please put your hands on your wheel, please, because it was making me nervous, but it was beautiful in the inside and everything. I felt like I was an important bitch or something up in the air. You understand? But, that's the life of an Uber bitch. But, sometimes I be riding in class, bitch. I be looking raggedy as fuck, be riding in class and everything. I'm like, I don't deserve. But anyway, Ken couldn't even get a door closed. I said, girl, trying to show out. Okay. But anyway, they meet up at this spiritual store, try to get some sage and some, cleansing energy and all this stuff, because Kenya's still up in her feelings about the whole thing that happened between Eva and her, what Portia told her about Eva and the energy and stuff like that. And of course, Cynthia is trying to defend Eva and basically said, you are really in your feelings or whatever because of some secondhand information that was told to you by Portia. That sounds like a Kenya situation. That sounds like a Kenya problem. And I was just like, I feel like Cynthia said, if Eva had some real true issues with Kenya, she would have said it to her face. But at the end of the day, they doing the most with this situation. That's all I'm going to say. So Cynthia got the girls minus Portia and Marlo and Nene going to, and Kenya, going to, this dress shop so that she can get dressed for Pride, okay? And, the owner of the dress shop, that lady looked like the little white lady that was on, Ballers, that was the realtor, okay? But anyway, things was going good until, they got into the topic of what was going on with Nene. Nene hasn't reached out to anybody, and Eva was basically saying she ain't reaching out to nobody, okay? If she see the bitch, and she say, hey, girl, whatever. Okay, then, Cynthia had to tell her about what was going on with Portia and Kenya, and how Kenya, Portia was the one that told Kenya that her energy was bad. Either Cynthia or Candy, one of them, I'm gonna just say they start talking about the whole thing, and of course, Cynthia ain't in her, at this point, Cynthia is over the whole drama between her and Nene. She was like, for you to fall out, know somebody so long and have so many memories, and then to fall out over some bullshit, it is what it is. Candy looking at the whole interaction between Cynthia and Eva like, girl, so now you attaching yourself to Eva now? Mind you, Kenya had just said, this is what she does, okay? First she was cool with Nene, now you cool with me, and then now you cape for Eva. Like, I hope you don't pick your men the way that you pick your friends and stuff like that. But at the same time, they start going in on this whole topic of this energy stuff and Kenya, and like, Eva was basically saying, if I don't want to bring my child anywhere, I don't have to bring my child anywhere. I don't know you. It's not really about the energy or whatever. It's just the fact that I really don't know Kenya. So that's what it is, okay? I don't know her middle name. I don't know nothing. I didn't ask where your husband was, so why you doing all this stuff? And then when they put out there that Portia was the one that told her what you said, bitch, she went off and talking about, you just had a fresh baby or whatever. You should be worrying about what they saying about your man on the blogs, and I can direct you to these blogs or whatever. You need to let your C-section scar heal before you say anything else, and woo 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 and woo woo woo. And I'm like, girl, calm the fuck down, Eva. You talk real big and bad shit about people, whatever. But baby, please have that same energy when you see Kenya and Portia. That's all I say. That's all I ask. And then speaking of Portia, she's on the phone with Lauren, and she was telling her that, she was going to on her way to this little counseling therapy session with Dennis, and I think Dennis, but she just want everybody to be honest, want him to say what it is, be honest and all this stuff. And she was just saying, I was looking at your situation, and it's like, it was preparing me for some of the stuff that I'm going through now, being a mother and all that stuff, but then also being in a toxic relationship and not having a breakup or whatever. So she gonna see how that goes. And then they go into the therapy session. We don't see the session just yet, but it said 35 minutes later, we see Portia coming out the therapist office or whatever, the counseling, and she's crying saying I shouldn't have did it or something like that. I said, oh, okay. Then it cuts to Portia at her home and her sister coming over and basically discussing what happened at the therapy session. We don't see it. She just said, first of all, Portia, what you went wrong was you went to Dr. Sherry. Okay, now if my day ones know exactly who Dr. Sherry is and know the understanding of where I'm coming from, bitch, Dr. Sherry used to be the goddamn psychiatrist or therapist or whatever for everybody on this Atlanta goddamn TV show. It started with the Braxtons, okay? That's where we first got introduced to her, and they still fucked up, okay? They still fucked up. She don't know how to fix shit, but that's neither here nor there, okay? Me and her got a pass, okay? So that's where they coming from, okay? We just don't, not like that. Anyway, but wrong road, girl, wrong road. But she said Dennis, soon as we sit down and we ain't even really good and got started, he started crying or whatever, and he basically admitted that he was cheating on her and fucking around on her while she was pregnant. And she trying to say that she don't want to be with the nigga no more. And I'm like, you alive because you still with him, but that's how her feelings was at that moment. And she was like, look at you, Lauren, you've been through the same thing and you getting yourself together, because she was basically saying, I don't want you going through what I went through. She was like, but listen, you got yourself up out of it, but at the end of the day, we're not gonna be together. And that was basically the episode. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.